coming out.
What? Can't do that. It's not due for months.
Well, tell that to the fetus.
You feel it?
Can't. Slippery.
What is it?
Our next movie is Splice, a sci-fi horror thriller that I must say took me by surprise. Not because of out-of-left-field plot twists or terrifying jolts, but because it went against some of my expectations of a creepy, crawly, scary monster movie. There is a monster, but she, her name is Dren, turns out to be a complicated creature, as much a victim as a source of terror.
Nobody can see what we made.
Once they see Ginger and Fred, don't you think the world's going to want to know what's next? Do you think they could really look at this face and see anything less than a miracle?
Like old Dr. Frankenstein's monster, Dren is the product of a scientific ambition run amok. In this case, Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley are the mad scientists, though they seem more like hip grad students than diabolical Prometheuses. They're happily patching together the DNA of different species and wondering whether to have a kid of their own when along comes Dren.
You know I love you, don't you? You're a part of me. And I'm a part of you.
Splice, directed by Vincenzo Natali, has the requisite spooky atmosphere and pseudo-scientific mumbo-jumbo, what you'd expect in a movie like this, but it's also witty, aware of its own craziness, and disarmingly insightful about the psychology of its characters. I have a feeling this will end up being a little too weird to attract masses of horror movie fans, but I say it's worth seeing.
I say it's worth seeing, too, and I do have the same question about whether or not an audience is going to A, find it, or B, embrace it, because of some of the things we can only allude to because of this.
There are some rather surprising turns.
Yes,
that
and
it does take,
there's a psychosexual current that runs through this in various directions that is going to be difficult for a lot of audiences. But
it makes it really interesting.
Interesting, and I think what you have here is you have, I'd say, a very astutely judged R-rated horror picture. Mm-hmm. It's not heavy on the gore.
No,
it's
very
actually
low body count.
And I think you have Brody and Sarah Polley in the leads playing characters that aren't even really begging for our sympathy. They're not conventional rooting interest characters. They're kind of driven, half-nut scientists, and I think that gives the movie kind of an unpredictability.
Well, right, and they have this relationship with their creation, who's the result of this experiment. They're trying to do these genetic modifications to create new species that will produce drugs and therapies for this pharmaceutical corporation that they work for. And they develop this very complex, ambivalent relationship with her and with each other, and there's this fascinating triangle that takes place. This is not about like a monster going around trying to eat everyone,
right.
but about the sort of the psychodynamics of the relationship between the scientists and their creation.
And the whole thing plays out like kind of a compressed version of every fear, raising an infant fear that parents have, and it's I'd say the movie covers everything not covered in the book, what to expect when you're expecting. So.
Yes, it's good, and in that sense it may be a cautionary tale.